Welcome to Transfer Pricing, Problem 1. Let's see the problem statement. ABC company has two divisions, namely Division A and Division B. It produces three products, that is K, L and M. The following data are provided per unit. Well, you can see in this table, there are three products K, L and M. So all the details are provided per unit. Market price is nothing but the selling price per unit is given. Variable cost per unit is given. And the direct labor hours per unit is given. Then you can see here maximum sales, that is in units, it's provided for all the three products. Well, it says that Division B has a demand for 600 units of product L for its use. If Division A can't supply the requirement, Division B can buy a similar product from the market for rupees 112 per unit. That is, Division B has a demand for 600 units from the Division A. Well, if Division A fails to meet this requirement, Division B has an alternative for it, that is to get the similar kind of product for rupees 112 per unit. Well, further it's given like what should be the transfer price of 600 units of product L for Division B if the total direct labor hours available in Division A is restricted to 15,000 hours. That is, we have to calculate the transfer price for 600 units of product L for the Division B, which has to be given by Division A. The restriction for Division A is that the total direct labor hours which is available with Division A is restricted to 15,000 hours. So finally we have to calculate the transfer price which is being offered by the Division A to Division B for 600 units, and then we have to compare that price to the market price and give a comment. So let's calculate. There are total 4 steps. So let's move on to the first step. First step is to calculate the contribution per direct labor hour. Observe here, direct labor hour is already given in the question. You can observe the question in the left side. So direct labor hour per unit is already given here, but the contribution is not there. So we have to calculate the contribution. Well, the formula to calculate the contribution, as we already know, selling price minus variable cost is nothing but the contribution. So selling price per unit is already given in the question. Then variable cost per unit is also given in the question. So selling price minus variable cost, we get contribution. Then direct labor hour, as I already told you, it's already given in the question, which you can observe here. So contribution, now we got direct labor hour is already given. So we can easily calculate contribution per direct labor hour. That is contribution divided by direct labor hour. In other words, we can say A divided by B. We can get contribution per direct labor hour. So we can rank these things. So as per the score, that is 11, that is L product has the first rank. Then 10 score, that is M product is the second rank, and K stands for the third rank. Well, after the ranking, as per the ranking, we have to arrange these products in the next step. Well, second step is that we have to calculate the labor hours. While calculating the labor hours, it is very important that we have to arrange the products as per the ranking. Here the first rank is L, second rank is M, and the third rank is K. Well, as per these products, we have to mention their values by seeing the question. Well, first we have taken the sales. As I told you, L product, you can see here for L, the sales is 1000. That's what we have written here. For M, the sales is 600. And for K, the sales is 1600. Similar way, the direct labor hour is also given in the question. So direct labor hour per unit is, for L product, it is 5 is what we have taken here. For M product, you can see here that is 3 is what we have taken. And for K, it is taken with the 4. So now we have sales, we have hours per unit, that is nothing but the direct labor per hour per unit. Well, production will be similar with the sales because the company has 100% capacity, so the sales would be equal to production. So we have to write the same thing since both the sales and production is equal. So now we have production and we have hours per unit. So easily we can get the hours needed to produce the entire production. So we have hours per unit and We have total production, just multiply hours per unit into production, in other words A into B. That is, for the first column we can say 5 into 1000, we got 5000. In the similar way we can calculate hours into production. Well, let's know the balance. So balance is nothing but, you can observe in the question again in the last line, that is for division A there is a restriction that 15,000 hours is the balance, or the 15,000 hours is the total direct labor hours which is actually available with division A. Well, that is what we have written here, 15,000 hours minus C, that is C column is this one. Well, let's understand how it works. 15,000 hours is the capacity of division A to produce a product L. So, under this division A, 15,000 hours, from this it is using to produce product L, that is 5,000 hours it is used. So, 15,000 hours minus 5,000 hours, the left out balance is 10,000 hours. From 10,000 for product M, it is using 1800 hours. So if you deduct 10,000 minus 1800, it is 8,200 hours. Similar way for 8,200 for product K, if you deduct 6,400, the left out balance is 1,800 hours. So after the usage of for all the products, the left out hours is 1,800 hours. So this is what we have to take for the next step. That is a third step, a working note. So the same 1800 hours is what we have taken here. So the balance hours is this 1800 hours. Keeping this balance hours, let us see the division A, how it can produce a product L. That is 1800 hours divided by 5. Let's see where this 5 comes from. 5 is nothing but we are producing product L. You can observe in the question, the direct labor hour to produce product L is 5. So we have left out with 1800 hours divided by 5, you get, that is by using 1800 hours, the division can produce 360 units under product L. Well, but if you see the question, division B is actually demanding for 600 units. So let's see this. So actual demand is 600 units, but we are able to currently produce 360 units. So 600 minus 360, still we have to produce 240 units. So let's understand how many hours is needed to produce 240 units. That is 240 into 5. 5 is again for the product L, direct labor hour, which we have taken here, the same thing which we have taken here also. So 240 into 5. So that is 1200 hours is still left out. But the capacity of the product L is just 1800, but in other words we can say 1200 is needed to produce 240 units, which is shortage. Since it is shortage, we are going to borrow from the other product. Let's see from which product it is going to borrow. As you can observe here, if we borrow from others, it's nothing but the opportunity contribution of the other product. So you can observe very carefully over in this step. So you have calculated the first step, that is calculation of contribution per direct labor hour. In that we have calculated the contribution. If you can observe here, we have given the ranking also. So since for the product L, the capacity of number of hours got over, we have to obtain 1200 hours from the other product. So from which product we have to obtain is from the least ranking product. Observe very carefully. We are not going to take from the second rank, but we are going to take from the least rank. That is, in our problem, the least rank is the third rank. So third rank product is nothing but the K product. From K product is what we have to take. So from K, the contribution is 9. That is what we have taken here, rupees 9 for 1200 hours. Let me repeat it once again. We have a balance of 1800 hours. So with the 1800 hours, the per direct labor hour is 5. By using this, we can able to manufacture 360 units. But actually, we have to manufacture 600 units. So the left out units which need to be manufactured is 240 units. So to manufacture 240 units, we need 1200 hours. So we need 1200 hours, but we don't have the capacity. So what they did is they borrowed it from product K. So that is nothing but opportunity contribution. This opportunity contribution of K, you can again clearly observe that is 9. So that 9 has been obtained from the opportunity contribution of K. So 9 into 1200 hours is nothing but the opportunity contribution which is foregone by K. So let's understand the last step, that is calculation of transfer price per unit. As we have discussed in the theory of transfer price, the formula to calculate the transfer price is variable cost, nothing but the marginal cost or incremental cost or variable cost, one and the same. Variable cost plus opportunity cost, we get transfer price. The same thing is observed here. Variable cost, as it is given in the question, you can observe here the question. So variable cost for product L is rupees per unit is 60. So we are actually looking for 600 units. That is 600 units into 60. The variable cost is 36,000 plus opportunity cost foregone by the for K, as we have calculated here already, rupees 9 for 1200 units, that is 1200 hours, that is 1200 hours into 9, we got 10,800. Add these both, we're going to get the transfer price. So total transfer price is 46,800. So if you want to get transfer price per unit, it's very easy, that you take a total transfer price divided by number of units. Here the number of units which the division B is demanding is 600 units. So divide the total transfer price divided by 600 units, you get per unit, that is the transfer price per unit is 78 rupees. So you can give a comment based on this. So we have calculated the transfer price per unit, that is 78, but market price is, it is given in the question, that is 112. So when you compare these both, obviously the division B can actually make a purchase of 600 units from division A itself than purchasing it from the market for rupees 112 per unit. That's all. Thank you.